My name is Elinor and I'm an artist from Cork. I'm a graduate studio resident at Sample Studios. I studied Intermedia at Edinburgh College of Art, graduating in 2019. For me, as a young artist, it's just been so immensely valuable to be a part of Sample Studios. So I'm a digital media artist. I make large-scale collages with Photoshop, mashing up stock photos. For me, the main thing that I'm really interested in is internet culture and memes. So if you don't know what they are, memes, more than being just sort of funny images that people share on the internet, they're really sort of fascinating products of kind of collective making, because a meme isn't just that one iteration of an image or a joke. It's kind of what is created by countless sort of internet users coming together and riffing off of the same joke or punchline and making something in the process of that. So I'm really fascinated in this kind of weird sense of humor that exists online, and it's something that I definitely try to play around with and capture in the work that I make as well. 2021 has been quite a good year for me in terms of art making, despite everything with coronavirus. So at the start of the year, I had an exhibition on billboards with Notes to Cork around Cork City. So that involved sort of making these large-scale images that were placed on billboards around the city. And it was great to see people sort of interacting with them in person and on social media. Afterwards, I was granted some funding from the Arts Council for the rest of the year. So I have 2 exhibitions coming up this year. I have one with Sample Studios in August called Brainworms. And then I have another one coming up in November this year with 126 Gallery in Galway. So something that I've been thinking about for this upcoming exhibition is the idea of there being a digital divide between like the real world and the online world. And I mean, it's completely a myth because there's not really this separation between the two. They completely feed into each other. For me, I'm quite interested in the culture that kind of exists between the two spaces and the sort of porousness between the two. And like for me, the work I make is a bit stupid, and it kind of feeds on all of the different like cultural references that I've absorbed throughout my entire life. Something that I've definitely taken from meme humor and like internet culture is like people's weird obsession with animals. Animals are just really funny. Like I think people really find a lot of humor in like anthropomorphizing animals and giving them personalities and characters. And so like it's quite fun for me to kind of play around with that a bit as well. So the way I normally work is to trawl these free stock image websites and take all these images and mash them up in Photoshop. But something that I've been doing recently is kind of a bit different. So I've been taking these stock images, printing them out, blowing them up in sort of as real physical images, and then playing around with them as physical objects as well. So for example, this horse with the really long tongue is like, I guess, just me sort of playing around with what I would do in Photoshop, but making it sort of a real sort of physical image. And for me, because I'm really interested in like cinema and theatre and internet culture and TV, like it's really interesting for me to like mix all those things together. So this particular image of the like landscape with the horse stuck onto it, it's kind of just a sort of a stupid way of mashing up a few of these different references. So I guess when I was hot gluing the fringe onto the back of the board, I was thinking about sort of like theatre curtains and stage sets and everything. And so like when I actually present my work in the space, it's often very just sort of haphazardly placed around. And for me, it kind of reminds me of like being backstage at a theatre, sort of seeing these kind of like discarded props and objects, and how it still kind of has a sense of magic about it as well, I think is really something that I try and keep when I'm presenting the work.